Hello, Kingston, and welcome back to the Napoleonic battlefield. Today we have a 4v4. This one is the Battle of Aspern. Now, for those of you who do not know about the battle, I'll give you a little, just a little info about it, because hopefully I'm not going to butcher this. So it was fought during the Fifth Coalition, the War of the Fifth Coalition. It was Napoleon trying to cross across the Danube. I think he was going towards Vienna to try to get, once again, Austria, which they kept, like, throughout the other wars. He would go and conquer Vienna, Austria'd super peace. Then, you know, the next war would get triggered, and Austria come to war against him again. And you have to go and deal with them again. So this was him trying to cross Danube near Vienna. And for once, the Austrians under Archduke Charles were able to defeat Napoleon. However, they were unable to secure a real victory. He was able to withdraw with most of his forces, which is kind of the theme of Napoleon fighting Napoleon. Even if you beat him, he still would run away with most of his forces. I do believe the generals on this battlefield, of course, were Austria with Archduke Charles, Napoleon, and Lens, I do believe. Now, today we have a France 12, a Bavaria 8, a Wurttemberg 6, and one more France. France 10 to Spain. So no cores for this one. Just, you know, some themed. And, of course, no Austria. Now, I'm not saying that they're trying to be historical at all. This is a very cool map, though, and a very cool battle that happened. But they have, I think it's 3 Russian and 1 Prussian. So a Prussia 9, a Russia 9, and Russia 9, and Russia 9. So 4 9-pointers going up against 12, and like I said, 8, 7, and 10. Or 6, 7, and 10. My bad. So, not even a 7. My goodness. 8, 6, 10, and 12. So, France 12 is a very interesting faction that no one really plays that much. Where are they going? Oh, he was ahead. But France 12 is bringing cuirassiers, like a ton of them. Bringing some good line infantry here. Lens, of course. And, yeah. Artillery, I do believe, as well in the mix. Some 6-pounders. They have their lights up ahead skirmishing. I believe this one was sent in. I'm having trouble remembering, because there's a couple people that played in this that usually send me stuff. There's Sputler, I think Matt Bob. There's a we'll see at the end. But we already see that Russia is sending up some Cavalry and Kazakis. Ulani. And Bavaria is kind of staring down. Bavaria is a fun faction to play, actually. Their line infantry is pretty good. But it looks like Bavaria, they have their Grenadier Guard peeling off and going right. And it looks like, did I say Bavaria is peeling right? Wurttemberg is peeling right. Bavaria and the rest of France are all focusing left. So maybe they're going to let Wurttemberg hold on their own. Or they're going for, excuse me, a town, perhaps. Going for Essling, I believe. Now, they definitely are going to have Aspern, which is this big set of buildings here. I haven't seen this map in a while. It's very cool. You got some LOC, some buildings here, if you look at the map. And a very open area. In fact, the last time I saw this played, I remember a death struggle over this huge open field. And it was deadly. Infantry were getting pounded by artillery. It was not fun for the attackers. So we'll see what happens this time. We have more Ulani here. The black uniforms. Man, these lances look nasty. We have, what is this? We have more Ulani. And then a lot more Russian cav hovering over here. So we got more Kasaris and Kazakis. Here, line infantry. Because Bagration is right here. So they're going to have Essling. And if Wurttemberg wants it, they're going to have to push. Yeah, hit the slight fast forward button. Because everybody seems contented to just march their line infantry up and not really do a whole lot. We do see some musketeers over here. Let's see. Andre. Where's Prussia? Prussia's going to be the center. And that means that maybe one Russian player is going to be on a flank. We do have... I knew I should drink more coffee. It's like my brain's still trying to wake up. Should have waited a little longer, but I couldn't wait, you know? This game, I was too excited to get on and record. And that is what it is. So, Wurttemberg pushing up some of their guard infantry. Or light infantry, my apologies. They can form square. Nice green uniforms. Pushing up in this grassy field. Dude, someone should tell him he's not playing right now. Like they gave the trumpeting job to the mute guy, and they're like, should we tell him? He's mute and deaf, and they tell him just to play, and he can't. God, I'm awful. Anyway, so we have Prussia, or not Prussia, France 12. Pushing up here with their line infantry. They're going to take Aspern. They're going to let Bavaria, who is bringing a good mixture of some line infantry. Maybe some elite. Bringing 2 6-pounders, so 6 total guns. France, Spain is going to be pushing up in the center. Okay, so Wurttemberg just took that road because it's faster, so they're going to stretch their lines out. And they're, of course, not going to make it all the way over to Essling. But they're going to try their darndest to make it to Essling. They have the light infantry pushing up with some skirmishers. Kind of cool. Oh my goodness, look at this guy. Look at this guy's uniform. He has like this very nice looking uniform. The mute deaf guy's playing the trumpet. I mean, hey, if he's happy, you know, who's to say he shouldn't do it? Dragoons getting shot, forced back by some howitzers here. So they were kind of hovering on the flank, which is why Bavaria was shifting over their skirmishers and Cav. They have, like I said, they have some cuirassiers of France 12. But they have their own heavies, which actually are very cool. Ooh, some howitzers blasting with these Ulani. Totally missing. These guys look like the Ledoux. Honestly, they have the crazy hats. And the armor to boot. So we do have a Russia pushing up here. Let's see, they have some light infantry. Some cav, and then some line infantry. So they're going to be pushing up in mass, maybe. So Wurttemberg may have some problems here. Artillery as well setting up here. 6-pounders. Probably going to be the focus of some artillery here. What are these Kazakhs doing? Are they going to their death? Is this like, you know, when, in Lord of the Rings, when they sent, what was his name? Faramir to, like, charge the, you know, that city, that, like, broken down city that was at the river, the fords? I'm totally blanking. And he sent, like, the last ride of Gondor. They rode, and they just all died. Faramir somehow survived. Well, hopefully I didn't spoil it. For some of you who haven't seen or read the books, but read the books, or watch the movie, I guess. But read the books. Unless you just don't like books. Book reading's awesome, though. Just a lot more light. All I see is lights, so definitely Russia is using their lights to kind of scout. Like I said, they're going to have a tough time taking this village. And you see they have a sunken road, I think, which they are going to try to use to kind of defend themselves. But howitzers don't care about, you know, hills. More Russians pouring out of the town, so my goodness, a lot of Russia. Artillery setting up. This is going to be a very good position for Russia. We have a problem for the Wurttemberg line. And they have a great field of fire. So like I said, they don't need to push on this side. They just need to defend. And that's exactly what they're doing. They have Cav all the way over here. So Wurttemberg may have to re-extend their line, because hitting this position head on is going to spell death. Now here's Prussia in the center. We got some Landwehr. I'm sure they have reserve musketeers. Yes, they do. Oh, we do have Bavaria shifting up with some chasseurs cheval, so they may be trying to hunt for some artillery. Oh my goodness. How many 6-pounders do they have? This is what, 7? Yeah, 7 there, and then 6 more right here. Oh my gosh, 13 guns. Artillery, you see, is definitely hitting this Russian line, but Wurttemberg's going to actually probably have to fall back. They're going to take some heavy losses here. And they may have to try to push up. Imperials may want to push up on this side, as there's no guns established yet. We see Russia's actually pushing up on Wurttemberg, and Wurttemberg is going to fall back. They don't want to get outflanked. There's artillery backing up this Russian push. Some skirmishers. I'm not sure what they're... Oh my goodness. What they're doing pushing up, but they are pushing up. Inflicting some losses. And Russia definitely is looking pretty good for this attack. I would say they have good artillery support. They have a good strong flank. Prussia's pushing up. Russia's going to have the fun job. I'm taking Aspern. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I just can't stop. Like, wake up. Come on. I am awake. I am awake, I promise. Just, my body doesn't believe it. Alright, so this is a cool line. So you have your lights first for Russia, then you have your musketeers next, and then some probably more musketeers behind. This is how you should fight, guys. You should see how they're massing their infantry. They're going to probably fight along just one small area. You have reserves to either bolster the morale or react to flanking forces of, like, Wurttemberg. Now, we do have some 6-pounder horse artillery that is replying to the Russian guns, but they are definitely outnumbered here. Oh, we do also have the howitzers been firing this whole time. This is just really bad. They're going for the guard. I mean, this is a really good line infantry unit. But that's why he's pulling it back. Got some skirmishers getting pushed in. They're skirmishing the enemy and then falling back. Just trying to kill a couple of them. We've caused a couple losses here. Okay, these guys have lost a couple. 6 men. Poor dude. Oh, we have some Cav possibly engaging over here. Some Chester Cheval getting chased off by some of the Kazakhs. Just a waiting game, guys. They don't want to attack, and like I said, they have LOC, so the Imperials don't have to attack. But as you can see, they are not probably attacking as much over here as they are attacking Wurttemberg. They may force the Imperials to shift reinforcements to this side. You see horse cuirassiers in the forest trying to keep themselves hidden. Wurttemberg is the one who is being pushed. And they're taking some losses, that's for sure. And they are reconsolidating because Russia is pushing so fast. Or not fast, but massing up on them. And has a lot that they're massing up. Look at these rows upon rows of Russians. These Russians are just pushing. And Wurttemberg is outnumbered here, but they have some really good quality. Oh, they have some landwehr in this line. It's some line infantry, some landwehr. We do have some of the France 10-pointer. He has pushed some Chiliers. Actually, some of his better quality line in the combat gen as well. So he's pushed up a bunch of a couple reserve infantry just in case. We do have, a flanking fight here. Light infantry kind of skirmishing down Russia on the side in this forest here. So it's like France and Russia were kind of... Uh-oh. So these Cavalry probably got hit by some artillery from that 6-pounder. They probably were hovering up, trying to see if they can take it out, but they have decided to push up in their artillery and their guns. They're probably pushing up these guns over here too. They want to get closer. They want to drive them back. They definitely want to drive them back. They want to also take out these guns, I'm sure, for the coalition. For the Imperials, they do not want Russia to push up their artillery. Obviously, it is deadly, and a lot of it. That's going to act as a second army, or fifth army, I should say, if used properly. Yeah, so Russia's pushing. They're going to probably try to use this river as a flank, and so they don't get outflanked. Which actually, if Wurttemberg could have run across here and set some guys up right here, then perfect. You know, follow them all the way back. And then push up and shoot on the flank. Maybe not. Maybe they need to consolidate. I don't know. First, this bridge is bugged. So they're not going to use this anyway. But they're going to fall back using the river to kind of watch their flank. Because they're getting very pushed on that right flank. In this area, I don't see a lot of aggression yet from the coalition. They are just still getting into formation. And, I mean, they have a really, really hard position to attack. The Imperials have a very, very strong position here. And lots of reserves, a lot of units that can take shelter in the town. Definitely the flank is going to be this left flank. Looking at this on the map, tactically this is the flank to go for. So we'll recheck in the tactical view, which I love about this mod, is being able to zoom way out. You can see a lot. So definitely a lot of shelling on Bavaria. Bavaria returning that fire. But not a lot of line infantry. Like I said, the Prussians probably want to wait. If they can hurt Wurttemberg and cause them have to shift troops over to hold this line, that would be really, really, really good for them. But Wurttemberg is going to possibly reform here. Like I said, they have really good quality infantry. If Russia spreads out their lines a little too much, they can hold. And man, this mod never gets old. The uniforms, the units, the sounds, just the huge battles. I mean, just it won't get old. Yeah, I feel like. Light infantry kind of in the right flank or possibly the center of this Russian push. Now you do see that Russia is getting hit pretty hard by artillery. And that that artillery attrition factor is going to start setting in. I feel like I would have set up a grand battery with France, especially considering how weak this flank is by numbers. With their artillery setting up, though, they're not going to want to move their artillery at this point. This artillery is stuck here. But I wouldn't be surprised if Russia's going to focus down these 6-pounders. So you can see they've taken some losses already to these guns. We do have more artillery setting up. Oh my goodness. This is a huge problem. There's so many guns. Oh, do we have Bavaria? No, not Bavaria. Wurttemberg pushing up here. Russia's trying to reform. They're going to have a lot of cav here. So France could start focusing in this area with cav. Oh, yeah, see, they're trying to go for the artillery, hit it before it limbers up, or unlimbers, but they were not able to catch it in time. Bavaria is going to be a pickle here, because if they want to reposition their artillery, they're going to be under fire. You see, they're under fire. It's an artillery duel at this point. Huge, oh, we have Bavaria charging in with their cavalry. Hussari's moving up to kind of support that fight. Oh, wow. That sucks. This poor dude being dragged by his horse. There we go. See, that's what I was thinking. They get their light infantry on the flank with their, Oh, yep, Bavaria. God, why do I keep calling Wurttemberg Bavaria? Wurttemberg is actually getting charged here. Kazaki's going in for him. And possibly going to keep going for the artillery. They may not actually kill it. Yeah, they're not going to kill it. That was a close one. And now, the Jaegers of... oh, they're not going to make it. These poor guys, they're not going to make it. Oh my goodness. It is just death for Cav in this area. Just total annihilation. France maybe starting to push up here. I don't know if... oh yeah, Russia has some artillery up here, so... I hope they don't... do something they're going to regret. Pushing out of the town. We do have... oh, Kazaki's just smacking to the back of these chasseurs cheval. There's a square that's been formed here. Cav gonna get out of this potent guard Kazaki Cav. They're pushing out. I'm surprised they're pushing out. You would think that they would hold, because yeah, Russia, look, Russia is way back here. You can hold this LOC, just shift some troops. You can hold the LOC with less troops. Bavaria could honestly shift over here and hold in the center, or shift over and help Wurttemberg out. Artillery still very dominant for the coalition here. We do have Wurttemberg pushing up here. They're engaging the Russians. You can see over here as well, engaging, getting their light infantry up. They're starting to inflict some heavy losses on this Russian regiment, who's going to actually start falling back. And they're running out of there. So what they could do is just readjust this line so they're not getting shot at. And I don't know if their plan was to push or not. They may try to force Wurttemberg to push up, just because the artillery is so potent. You see, it's just, it is death. Death by artillery. A lot of Cav in the back was getting shelled. This is all from artillery, guys. This is just a brutal... And France and Spain is trying to hold their position. Just the constant roar of artillery. I don't think the artillery's ever stopped firing. Yeah, it's constant artillery you're hearing. Where are you going? Oh. They're gonna get shot to pieces, but let's follow this brave Bavarian Cav charge. Prussia missed all their shots. We do have France pushing up here. And they are going to push up against Russia, but not Prussia's here. Man, this is not looking that good for the coalition. I mean, for the Imperial side. Because they are defending, yes, and they can stay back and defend, but... I mean, even over here, France 12 is probably going to start getting pounded by some 10-pounders. And some 12-pounders. All right, and the France 12 is the percentage replay, and I'll remember that. But yeah, this is not looking too hot at this point. The artillery, like I said, for the coalition, this reminds me of which battle was it that I played? Where the artillery, it's like an any battle where the artillery is just terrible. For the Russians, they bring so much of it. Maybe hopefully I remember it. But you can see the artillery dominance is playing a key role in this because France is actually having to engage here. Now, they probably could do pretty well in just a line fight against Russia. The question is it just going to be a line fight? Because I feel like the artillery... Oh, they did break this 12-pounder. Interesting. I didn't realize they had done that. They are actually doing pretty well in this flank. They have 3 versus 2 line infantry of Russia. Now, if these guys would actually fire... It's going to be a fair contest, but they're not actually firing. Musket bug being a very strong... Come on, you guys. Fire for crying out loud. There we go, they're firing. Russia's actually pushed up to help out France 12. So France 12, they're gonna have a tough time. I guarantee you. Now, you see Prussia's actually taking some losses just because of the artillery Bavaria. They don't need to push there. The place where they want to be fighting is right here. They have a lot of artillery. Use that artillery to just keep softening up Wurttemberg and then push them. You can see it's definitely working here. Poor Wurttemberg just can't do anything about this. They have to hold this flank. Oh, this 6-pounder. Man, they got shot to pieces. They are back, but they have no artillery right here. That's rough. Some rough stuff. Look at this Prussian gun placement, too. We have more 6-pounder. My gosh. It's a very toxic build that the coalition brought. I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is so much artillery. Which, I mean, that's kind of their strength. Their infantry doesn't do well, and their cav is, besides Russia has some good cav, but besides that, their cav is much to be desired in some ways. And you can see that Russia is taking some losses here. That's why Prussia has pushed up. They have some of their reserves. Line infantry here. Pushing up those masses. Oh, this is a cool looking unit. Wait, what? Allied general? No, nay. France 10's general has been slain. And I feel like France and Wurttemberg are stuck in a trap. Like I said, what are you going to do against tons of artillery? If you advance, you're dead. If you sit there, you're going to die. So, I feel for them, honestly. It's like this, it kind of sucks. We do have Russia pushing up some of their dragoons. Who are they going for? Possibly going for the artillery. I haven't seen the French cav being very prevalent in this fight. What are these? Chasseur Cheval clashing with some skirms. Now they're going to fall back through this square, dragging some Kazakis. The cav has not really been in play here. Maybe, I mean, it's because of the artillery, but this actually may be the one spot they finally can use their heavies. They can actually charge in here and smack around the coalition. They do have artillery setting up, but I don't see any cav guarding it. You gotta watch out for the Kazakis of Russia. They are making some headway on this flank here. Over here, Russia is actually pushing up right close to these guns. They want to silence this artillery forever. And I think they've actually done that. France and Wurttemberg now going to reform. Wurttemberg has their back almost against a river. They could always fall back, you know, form up near the other side of this river. I don't know. Russia's just massing up here. They're definitely falling back. And oh my gosh, France, Spain is just breaking. Things are looking awful on this side, but we're not awful. They're just looking grim. On this side, though, France 12, I think, is actually making some headway with Bavaria. You can see, actually, that Russia is falling back. They've taken some heavy losses here against the France 12. And they're going to reform as the fight is going on. Looks like we have some possible, yeah, we have line infantry engaging as well as some cavalry here. Huge push by the Cav. Oh my goodness. So cuirassiers going in, a nightmare. And Wurttemberg got charged in the back as they're probably falling back. They sent in some cuirassiers of Bavaria and France and Wurttemberg, trying to get their line infantry out of there. You can see a lot of heavies all of a sudden showing themselves. Now that the artillery's gone for France on this side, they are just pushing. Actually, not a whole lot of losses. Some landwehr, some line infantry. But this artillery is going to start focusing down where all these heavies are. So, what do we have here? We have some chasseurs charging the back of these Russians. Alright, so this is how things stand. Russia is pushing up with their heavies as well. France, Spain finally getting engaged here. We do have Bavaria getting charged, oh no, by Ulanen. Totally taking out their cavalry. Over here on this side, Prussia is starting to square up against half, I believe, of Bavaria's army here. Not too excited. Bavaria's probably not going to do as well in that one. Over here, though, France 12, like I said, they are not really able to fire. And when they do fire, it's not too hot. Now, we do have line infantry, grenadiers, as well as Cav, Gusaris, Kazakis going against cuirassiers, and a square of France. Uh-oh, but we have Gusaris charging in the back of these cuirassiers. Russia actually did a bayonet charge with their grenadiers and musketeers to try to drive them back. But they got attacked in the back, and that should shake them up. A general nearby to inspire the men to fight. More cuirassiers pushing up here, so this battle is looking like it's one way or the other. Wurttemberg still being charged as more heavies are going in on Wurttemberg. Bavaria and Wurttemberg sending in their heavies to try to combat the masses of Cav that are pushing up here. Oh my goodness. See, Wurttemberg is trying to fall back across this river, and that is why the Cav keeps charging in here. They're trying to stop them, trying to cause as many losses as possible for this Wurttemberg and French line. More Cav now going in here. France is engaging. This is a very weak point now that Prussia is pushing up on. We have a lot of Cav pushing up in. Keep in mind, guys, no artillery for the coalition or for the Imperial side over here. Over here, oh man, there's too much happening at once, guys. Cav, Dragoons, and Guard. Reserve Guard charging against Bavaria. Bavaria has some Prince Karl line infantry, and they are starting to really break here. They lost their Cav. Uh-oh. Oh no, Bavaria's general's in danger. Oh no. Alright, so they're having to shift over their cuirassiers. Once again, they lost their cuirassiers over here. Like I said, they are making a huge push on Russia, but I don't think it's going to matter. Russia is basically wasting France 12's time. France 12 is winning there, but over here, the fight is going terribly against the French alliance at this point. France has a very weak center. Bavaria needs to shift their troops over to help on this side. Thankfully, Bavaria seems to... Oh, no, not Bavaria. Wurttemberg seems to have gotten some troops across the river here. which is going to stop some of the Russians having to shoot them to protect the flank while the rest of them push up here. We do have a lot of cav that needs to move out of the way and let France and Wurttemberg's line infantry fight out against the Russians. Now their artillery is moving up once more, and there's no real cav except for some dragoons to take it out. They may charge it in, but you see there is heavies and lights to defend this side, so not looking too good. We do have Prussia getting charged by cuirassiers, taking out a lot of line infantry here. Bavaria countercharging some of their line infantry. They did save their general, and Prussia's actually going to start falling back here. So starting to regain the upper hand, regain the initiative here. Using that heavy cav so effectively to push back Prussia. And now Bavaria is going to start charging in the back of this reserve musketeer as they are falling back. Try to cause more mass routing, maybe. France 12 is coming to help Bavaria out as well, but they are still pushing on Russia. They don't have cav on this side, so I'm not sure if Russia does. But they definitely have some 10-pounders. They can still set them up. Checking back on this side. The dragoons did try to charge, I do believe, the artillery, because this spells death. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is dirty. This is just so nasty. And what does France have to offer? Oh my gosh. So actually, Wurttemberg's taking getting some good kills here against France or against Russia. Russia doesn't really need to engage too much here. They do have a lot of light infantry they can use. Oh, we do have a bayonet charge here. And we have some musketeers going against the line infantry. Wurttemberg falling back against the masses once more. Their flank is, I mean, their center is breaking for France and Spain. You can see this artillery is just destroying this center. I would be curious how many kills this artillery is going to get. But you can see Prussia is just pushing. They don't have to worry too much about France 12. France 12 is out on their own. They're just going to focus down the rest of what is kind of getting boxed in here. This is death for the French. They are getting surrounded by Prussia and Russia. And you can see the mass rout is starting. Patience was key in this battle. You see the coalition were very patient. Russia is totally just falling back now. They're like, yeah, no, we're done fighting you. We've lost enough. We don't need to fight you. Russia is just going to fall back. Their guns actually are in danger of being killed. But they're going to limber them up, I think. Yeah, they're going to move their guns. Over here, it's turning into a mass rout here. Like I said, no one, even the most elite of troops, can't stand against artillery that just shatters your line. And these Swiss are no exception here. Now, all it's going to take is just one mass rout and Prussia could break. I mean, they still have some they can still fall back and hold this town. Wurttemberg, like I said, Wurttemberg is across this river. They may have managed to save a lot of their army. But Prussia's going to swing around the flank here. There's nothing you can do about that. Well, these howitzers were still alive. There's a couple solitary French line infantry and some Wurttemberg line infantry in this forest. They're probably going to break here pretty soon here, and then it's going to be up to Wurttemberg to try to hold this river. And it's going to be up to France 12 and Bavaria to hold this town. I don't know the LOC count, to be honest. Aspern, I think, has the most LOCs, but Essling has been held. There's Rosdorf. And I can't read the other one. But... so Bavaria is going to hold this LOC outside of this town. Wurttemberg still falling back here. This is why artillery is so crucial. I think this is the perfect example. Because like I said, if it wasn't for the artillery, I think this would have turned out a different way. Maybe not, you know. France 12 did kind of... They did have a massive ground they were trying to cover here. Wurttemberg, I don't think, needed a hold. Once they saw they couldn't take Essling, they could have fallen back and consolidated their defense around this town. Yeah, see, France 12 and Bavaria now going to fall back to Aspern and try to hold it. I think at this point the coalition... Well, if they're not careful, though, the coalition is going to lose by LOC unless they have all the other LOCs, except for Aspern. Which I'm sure they do. They have probably troops over here, over here. You see, Wurttemberg is getting charged here. Majority of their line infantry, I think, are falling back. They're wasting time, which that means that Prussia is probably the one who's going to push up on them, and Russia. And all the rest are going to push up against Bavaria. Now, this LOC looks like it's had some pretty substantial damage to it, my goodness. But, you know, garrisoning it is better than not. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. We do have Bavaria falling back. Oh, they're going to get charged. Yep, they're going to get charged. And that should break Bavaria. They do have some more cuirassiers. Who are going to push up here, but they're going to get outnumbered. Now we do have Bavarian light infantry trying to volley, break as many of these Russians as possible. But this artillery, this is basically like 8 line infantry right here, this artillery. It's more potent because you can't get to it. But they're going to be pushing up here. Wurttemberg is going to have to make a stand at some point. It's a lost cause if they keep running, you know, it's going to end the battle. There's only a little bit of time left. Quite honestly, I didn't realize 42 minutes had passed. Very intense battle. So, yeah, Bavaria is going to have to consolidate their defenses. Prussia's going to start pushing up on them as well as Russia. The Russia that France 12 was chasing is most likely going to push up. You do have the masses of Landwehr pushing up. And the sad thing about this is this cuirassiers could easily break this Landwehr, but they don't have a cav advantage anymore. They have 1 cav unit. They got to use it defensively, which means this Landwehr is going to just sit there and just chop over time, of course, because their accuracy is not the greatest. They can start chopping up the Bavarian line infantry. Now, France is showing up here, thankfully, but I don't know if they can hold. They don't have enough troops. You see, actually, the Prussian artillery is starting to really focus down this French line as it's pushing back into the town of Aspern. What is left of Wurttemberg is trying to swing around, but Prussia is blocking them. They're maybe trying to get back to the LOC as best they can, but it's not going to matter. Yeah, this Landwehr open up fire. This may end up being historical to the Battle of Aspern, which was, a defeat for Napoleon. We will see. We do have Bavaria getting charged here. Oh, man. Artillery setting up here. I mean, they're gonna. Oh yeah, they lost it. Very lost it. They're gonna start chewing up this landward though. You see the losses, and they are dropping like flies. There's 206 of 259, so they have a lot of men left. But they are breaking. Oh my goodness! Wow. So they are getting sent into a meat grinder of sorts. So you see that the landward are wavering and breaking now. Excuse me, breaking now. You can see the losses they suffered. The artillery, though, so France is gonna have to move very fast if they want to make a decisive victory here, because this artillery is back in position. I'm kind of curious what they're gonna do here. This line infantry of France 12 is so potent. Look how fast they're firing compared to the Russians. Although they're moving now, so technically not. They're gonna lose another one. So they can push this flank where the artillery isn't. Maybe they can win. Maybe they can start breaking, but Prussia's starting to push in. Russia probably is coming back. Yeah, Russia's coming back. They don't have enough troops here, I don't think. I mean, they're massing them all over here. But just look at the difference in firing. Like constant volley versus, you know, it's, there we go, here we go. So we got the cuirassiers charging in here. And Bavaria gonna push up, kind of support that. Now we do have a lot more heavies for Russia pushing up here. This artillery, though, as you can see, is really putting some damage on the French line here. Countercharged by cuirassiers. Allied general has been slain. Wurttemberg. Wurttemberg is getting surrounded. They are taking some damage, though. They are really taking a chunk out of Prussia. Over here, this artillery just keeps. I mean, France is just taking it in a stride, just pushing up constantly. We do have Prussia pushing up here against Bavaria. Bavaria going to hold its LOC and try to hold this flank. Artillery and some line of infantry, like you said, pushing up here. They're trying to maybe, if they can mass route Prussia, that'd be one less problem. But look, more artillery setting up here. Yep, cuirassiers are done for. This line can't even, they can't even shoot. They keep having to reform. I think France is going to lose just because of the ring of like 13 guns. But Prussia is going to get maybe outflanked here. Bavaria just taking the LOCs at this point. Russia is pushing up though. Oh no. Oh, Bavaria's not going to get there in time, are they? Yeah, they're gonna get charged before they make it into the LOC. In fact, they're even charging the house. So Prussia's charging in the house. Russia trying to ambush this Prussian column. Yeah, they're gonna charge in here. But actually, I think Bavaria made it in time. But yeah, the huge ambush of this Prussian column, you can see they just executed them. But this artillery is just going to still keep shooting here. Keep wasting away the French line. They just got to hold for 8 minutes and 55 seconds. They have to take these LOCs. The coalition has to take these, and Bavaria has to hold these. Bavaria has a very crucial role here now. But they lost the first one already. They can countercharge it, which is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to keep it from falling into Prussian hands. Oh my gosh. But this is a really good Prussian line infantry unit. Russia is now charging into this LOC with their grenadiers. Can they take it? They're receiving some pretty hot fire. They're in charge of the house now. They're going for, you know, stopping the men from firing inside the house. I don't know if Bavaria can hold for 7 minutes and 51 seconds. France is even trying to hold here, but they're getting shot at by this guard. Artillery just got totally just smacked. And now France is going to consolidate, try to hold these various LOCs. Yeah, they lost another one. Yeah, Bavaria was unable to hold against Grenadiers, which does, I mean, that is no surprise. Their stats for melee are not the greatest. Especially this Bavarian line infantry unit. It's just mass pandemonium. France is going to try to hold. Like I said, this is... Oh, is Wurttemberg still alive? Wait, what? France's Spain is back? Oh, wait. Did they drop at the very end here? They look like they just dropped at the very end. Yeah, this is an AI. Alright, so we'll just ignore that, because that's just AI coming back and doing AI things. So it's a last desperate stand in this house, or this village of Aspern. I'm gonna let them reform here. Man. How close, you know, how close was that near the very end with the LOC? I thought maybe they could stick out the LOC, and I didn't know if they had LOC victory. But, no, the artillery definitely of coalition was king in this fight. They're gonna shoot their own general rather than let him be captured. There's 2 LOCs left, which France 12 and Bavaria are now going to garrison. And Russia is going to have the fun joy of... what's this? What's this, Russia? What do I see before my eyes? See a little farming, possibly? There's a little farming here. Yeah, I'm just going to... the kills for the coalition are probably going to be pretty high. That's my prediction. Let me fast forward here until they push up. Russia and France now going to have a shootout. Russia's going to do terribly against this France line infantry, but there's just masses and masses that will keep pouring in. I think they're just going to wait for the timer to run up. They have the LOC advantage, so they may just wait. So unless something happens... this is just going to be an LOC victory. Unless France decides just to go in all for... Go in for it. Oh my goodness, look at these streets. Street fight all along here, using this fence. Bavaria charging in as well. Trying to break the Russians. Just smoke in the distance, that's kind of cool. You see, they're just getting overwhelmed here. France is getting massively overwhelmed, but their line of infantry are still holding. For now. As there's 18 seconds left, it is just an all-out slugfest in this town. The Fimming, my goodness. Maybe not, I don't know. But, you know, it's over. It's a coalition victory, so. And 0. This artillery was so potent. But anyway, this one was sent in by Anime Wafu. So yeah, man, what a what a fight. What a fight. These cuirassiers got some crazy kills. These infantry guys, this is the potency of France 12, the Legionnaire. That's all they brought for line infantry. So it's very good line infantry to be sure. Alright guys, I think that's about it. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.